Hey guys, this is Ron from YouTube's Rock and Metal News, and we're in Vancouver at the Red Room with Greg and Brandon from Allegaeon. They have a new album out, and it's called The Elements of the Infinite, and it is a great album. Definitely one of our top 10 albums so far this year on Rock and Metal News. We're keeping tabs on them, and the first thing that really stood out for me on this album was the song structures, the orchestral parts that you've added into the album, the amazing guitar playing, and just the whole concept. It's not like a concept album, but it just has this feel of a nice concept. And I just wondered how you started to approach the album. Did you have a couple songs in mind and built around them, or did you have a big picture of the album?
I mean, it was different because since we had a lineup change, a big one, that it was clear that I was going to have to do most of the writing. So I think there might be a little bit more focus just because it was all done by primarily one guy, you know. Before it was 50-50, which always worked out, but this time just, you know, had to fall in one person's lap. So that might add to more of the concept element, as you were. But not, I mean, you know, it's like song one, you know, leads to song two, leads to song three.
Great. Yeah, no, you know, it just seems a nice tie-in in the album as you listen to it. It just kind of has that feel. Now, regarding the drumming on the album, was it programmed initially, and then Brandon, you had to kind of come in and learn it? Did you add a lot of your own style in, or did you kind of start right from the scratch with the drumming?
They already had programmed drums to most of it, and I just kind of took it and tried to add my own style to it in the short amount of time that I had, because I only had like 3 weeks or something. So,
and I mean, this isn't easy drumming. I mean, I play drums myself, and I could never touch this kind of stuff. So how did you sort of approach it? Did you just take it track by track? And
just track by track, yeah.
Cool. No, that's great. Excellent job on it. Really good. One thing I wanted to mention is, as well as in the production of it, I noticed the cymbal sounds and the way that you guys mixed it. There was, you know, because of the style of music, you guys were able to pull just little nuances out of this heavy mix, and you had some great cymbal sounds in there. The china, the splashes, and things like that. Were you guys really kind of, you know, looking at pulling those out of the mix when you were recording it?
Yeah, I mean, you learn something with every record you do, and there were specific things in mind that I know I definitely wanted to achieve with this record. One was I wanted the bass, and then since we have a really awesome drummer now, that we just haven't had a drummer forever, you know, cymbal work was important. That's something like, I love cymbal work, so when, you know,
you'll definitely hear a lot more of that in my style.
Yeah.
Later on.
Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be, you know, to pull those out is something that we've been wanting to do for a while. It just, you know, you're always rushed when you get in. So now it's like these are things we hadn't, you know, we're goals that were set. Like, hey, this is kind of what we want to do this time around. So yeah.
One thing I noticed again on the album was it has a sense of that there was a lot of time taken on this album. I got the sense that it wasn't rushed. I mean, you guys end on a real like acoustic note, kind of. There's so much dynamics in the album. There's heavy stuff. There's you know, orchestra. There's acoustic guitar. Did you take your time? Like, how long did this album take, sort of from concept to end? I'm really curious on that because it's so complex.
No more time than any of the other records. You know, it's just like it goes back to the focus thing, because, you know, it was all me. Well, I'm going to do what I want. So with the addition of Brandon, we can play to samples. Orchestra stuff we've always wanted to do. So now it's like, well, let's do it. I got a buddy. I know how, you know, he has terabytes upon terabytes of sound realistic. Let's just do it. You know, I'd program orchestra choir stuff. He'd reamp it and then send it back, and like, let's just make that bigger. And it took the same amount of time. It was just more focused, I would say, than the other ones.
Yeah, no, you can see that. The interesting album cover as well. I wanted to. Have you seen the movie Prometheus at all?
No, I haven't.
Okay, definitely check that out. It's going to be right down your guys' alley. It's the prequel.
It's the prequel to Aliens,
of Alien.
Right? Okay.
And for some reason, once you see the movie, there's just your album cover there where I don't know if something's coming out of the person, they're kind of disintegrating, or something's trying to crawl out, or you can maybe let me know. But it kind of reminded me of the engineers in Prometheus when they drank this black life form, and they kind of dissolved into this blackness. Oh. And it kind of, when I saw that, it kind of reminded me of it. So just wondered about the concept of the album cover.
We actually had had this awesome concept about the Vitruvian Man, and we had all this other stuff going on. And then Colin Marks, the guy who does all our artwork, he designed this for a band, and they decided to scrap it. And he was like, "This is one of my favorite pieces I've ever done." He sent it to Metal Blade. They sent it to us, and we're like, "Crap." It looks so cool. We're like, yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, it was good.
So yeah, it has nothing to do with the album whatsoever. It just looked too cool to mess up.
No, it's cool. It's, to me, it kind of fits into there. Now regarding the lyrics and that, I think does Ezra do a lot of the lyric writing? I mean, the lyrics in this kind of album isn't your average kind of lyrics. I mean, there's quantum physics and biochemistry and all this stuff in there, which interests me because I really listen to the lyrics in albums and I really enjoy what the lyrics are saying in that. So, do you guys study this kind of stuff outside of the music?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of research that goes into it. This record. On every record, it's been kind of like a split up 3 ways of lyrics. I hate writing lyrics, so it was like, Ezra, hey, let's do you do it this time. And I think I only chipped in on one song, and that's just because Biomech Part 2, because we did the first one together. So I was like, hey, let's just do the second one together, and I went in kicking to screaming. But yeah, I mean, we come up. There's a lot of times that he has ideas for concepts for songs. And then there's times that everybody else has ideas, and we're like, hey, let's write a song about this, like gravimetric time dilation. I've been wanting to write a song about that for a long time, and I was like, dude, let's do it on this record. And he's like, crap, okay. So there's lots of research involved. Yeah, and it's very time consuming, but
cool. So, Brandon, about the drumming now, you're in the studio and you're working hard on the drumming. Sometimes you kind of fall in love with a song that you're in the recording, but also when you're playing something live. What song do you kind of to like when you're playing live?
Biomech 2 is pretty hard to play live. I like playing that one a lot. But Genocide is really becoming one of my favorite ones to play too.
Nice.
Just, I don't know what it is. It's just great.
Yeah, you just have those feelings. Certain live songs, they just have that energy, that juice that you have to play with.
People always react well to it.
Yeah, right.
I love the drums in that song. Yeah, I think the fills through the pre-chorus just
it's not the hardest song to play, but probably one of the most fun to play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. No, that's cool. So now, regarding all the social networking and that's going on over the last years to promote bands and how many bands are out there and trying to write their own music, how much time do you guys spend social networking, promoting your album, touching with fans? Is it do you guys all sort of pitch in, or is there someone that runs the main site?
No, everybody has access and everybody puts their 2 cents in there. Some people a little bit more vocal than others, and when Ezra posts something. Let's just say that. But it's so weird, like the posts that we get in trouble the most for are always Corey's. They just post something and it's like whatever, and then just people they love it, and then we get lots of hate mail, and then lots of this offends me, please take it down. We're like, it's the internet, bro.
No, exactly.
It's not like we came up with it. We just posted it. So, yeah.
So do you find it easier promoting obviously it's easier promoting your albums, but is it a very helpful tool to promote the band and to put your music out there?
Yeah, well, it's great just because, nowadays there's no pedestal whatsoever, right? So, we pride ourselves on being as accessible as possible to the fans, and also, they're our friends, That's Ezra says that every night. Hey, we're going to become best friends by the end of the set. It's true. It's like, don't make money. Might as well make friends.
Oh, no, that's great. Thanks for your time. The album is just amazing, and really enjoyed it. I think you guys are. You can tell by the reception of the album that you're stepping up, and that'll just build anticipation for the future. So I just wondered, what were your maybe some of your short-term and long-term plans for the band at the moment?
Well, right now it's really to gain more of a international foothold. So here we're in Canada, that's like the first step for us, because we haven't been able to get here. It's taken 6 years for us to be able to get into the country. So we're finally here. So this is kind of like the first step. We're supposed to be going to Europe in November for 6 weeks. It's a pretty long leg in Europe, and we're probably gonna go broke. But it's important to for businesses to grow and be more global nowadays. So we're kind of looking at it from a business perspective, and that's kind of what we want to do. And I think we play more of a European style anyway. So we're hoping in the States, you know, if you don't have breakdowns, you're kind of, you know, there's a wall there, you know. So it's like we're slowly chipping away at that, but you know, to go to a place where it's not so prevalent, we think we might do really well. So you know, but it's a roll of the dice, but that's, you know, more globally is what we're thinking. So Australia and Japan and Canada, of course, because we're here, you know.
And your style of music, you know, especially for some of Europe, Norway, Sweden and stuff, I mean, you got Children of Bodom, In Flames, you got Amon Amarth, all these kind of bands that you could just really do well with on the bills and things like that.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's what we were thinking too, you know. So we have more in common with European bands than American bands at this point. So it's like, you know, it seems like the smart thing to do to go over there. You know, who knows? They might hate us. We don't know yet, so we'll see.
All right. Okay. So yeah, thanks. This is Ron from YouTube's Rock and Metal News, and get the new Allegaeon album. It's amazing, Elements of the Infinite, and this is Greg and Brandon, and we're going to check them out tonight. Thanks for tuning in.